Here's our solutions to our first test. PEMDAS, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. This is the order you have to do things. You have to do what's inside the parentheses. So inside the parentheses, I have -6 plus 3, which is -3. And then I go to exponent, squares it. So -3 times -3 would be 9. Then I did multiplication, gives me the 24 there. Subtracting and get -15. So I have 10 plus 5, because minus and negative means you're adding, so that gives me the 15. 5 minus 10 is -5. When you divide those, you get -3. 3 squared is 9. And that's how I got -12. Many people forgot to put parentheses there. So it's -3 squared, which gives you 9. 9 times the 2 is 18. I'm just doing the order of operation again. Then when you subtract that 8, you get 10. H of -3 means my x is -3. My x is -3 and my y is 0, because I don't go up anything or down anything. When h of x is 3, so that's my y value, is 3, I get out a 2. So 2 plugs in to get out a 3. So my x is 2. G of x is 50. So g of x is 50. So you take that g of x and you replace it with a 50. And then I just solve for the x. For every x value, there needs to be only one y. That's what a function is. So for this x, I get out that y. But if I plug it in sometimes, I'll get out a 5. That's not consistent. That's not a function. If I plugged in -2, I could get out 3 different answers. Not a function. For every x, there should be one y. For every x here, I get out one y. For every x, I get out one y. For every x, I get out one y. So these are both functions. My domain is my possible x values. So I just look at the x's. Hey, there's my lowest x, -5, and it can equal it. My highest x is 4, and it is not equal because that open circle says you can't be equal to it. Now range just talks about the y's. That's all it does. So I'm on the y-axis going, what's my smallest y? Oh, -2. Could equal it because there's filled in there. And my highest y value is up here at 3, so it could also equal 3. On B, my lowest x value is -infinity because of the arrow, it keeps going on, and my highest x value is at 3. My y values. My lowest y value, since there's an arrow going down, it keeps going down, so that's -infinity. And then -1 is my highest y value. Five times 2 is 10. X to the 5th times x to the 4th. The shortcut is just adding the exponents, so that's x to the 9th. Y to the 1st times y to the 3rd gives you y to the 4th. 2 to the 4th is 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2, which is 8, times 2, which is 16. That's how I got the 16. And then x to the 4th raised to the 4th. The shortcut we developed was multiplying the exponents, and you get x to the 16th. Y to the 1st raised to the 4th is y to the 4th. Four over 12 reduces to 1 over 3. A to the 8th over a to the 1st. Subtract the exponents and I get a to the 7th. 3 minus 10, I'm subtracting the exponent, and I end up with b to the -7, which means it's down in the denominator, and it's b to the 7th. Hardest one for everyone? I saw many a's, but it's a to the -1, which is just 1 over a. But this is a to the 6 on top. This is b to the 20th. So those b to the 20th cancel out. A to the 6th over a to the 7th. There's 6 being multiplied on top, 7 being multiplied on the bottom. If you're reducing it down, canceling out all those a's, all those 1s, you end up with an a on the bottom and 1 on top. All right, next week's test is going to look very similar to this. Study.